The last video I mentioned some things that I wanted to confess as a beekeeper, and today's the day. So let's get into it. I've been holding off making this video, not because I'm in trouble, but because, a lot of folks who keep bees are also interested in other things related to farming. And I've always shot videos that only and exclusively talked about bees. Well, the thing I want to confess with you today is not only do I enjoy keeping bees, but I love chickens. I started binge watching all these chicken coop videos and I knew I needed a new coop. The one that I have was just dilapidated and falling apart. It was made with cattle panels. It was an 8x8 coop and it was a hoop coop. And I think I had it going for about 4 or 5 years and it was just becoming an eyesore. And so in today's video, I thought, you know what? Yeah, it's fun to talk about bees, but a lot of you guys that keep bees like chickens too, so I'm going to share with you some things that I do with my chickens. So this is a combination chicken coop, doghouse, and shed. I keep my lawnmower and tools in, so it's a 3-in-1 deal. Now, I've got an apartment downstairs of the chicken coop for Ruffles. That's his private spot where he's still learning how to go in there. I haven't quite convinced him that sleeping in the house was just more of his baby stage, and now he's graduated to taking care of things on the outside of the house. So that's his apartment. He's in there now. He likes his apartment, and every time I'm here, he likes to hang out with me because I'm usually doing something with the chickens or the geese or in the backyard, so he has a good time out here. But I wanted to give you the tour of my new chicken coop. So like I mentioned before, chicken people are crazy. And if you watch too many chicken videos, you're going to be crazy too, and that's what happened to me. Now I'm just as crazy as they are. I just went all out on building this chicken coop, and I actually got my inspiration from Matt over at Carolina Coops. And man, Matt, I got to take my hat off to you. Matt has found a way to reach a market of people that like chickens that got some serious money. I've seen some of the coops that Matt has built, and they're nicer than the house I grew up in. In fact, half of his coops are nicer than the house I grew up in. Anyway, I got a lot of good inspiration from Matt, so Matt, I want to thank you because you've really shared with folks on your channel a lot of really good ways that people can take good care of their chickens. And so today, I just want to show you some of the things that have inspired me. So this is where I keep all of my tools in my lawnmower. So this has been working out great, even though I have a workshop. I like to do a lot of my woodworking there, but I don't like to keep all my garden stuff and my weed zappers there. I like to keep everything in here. So I'm going to bring you in and I'm going to show you where Ruffles' apartment is down here and the chickens are upstairs. So let's check this out. I'm going to bring you right in. So down here is Ruffles' apartment. So I can access that, and he knows that's his spot. His food bowl's in there. You want to go in, buddy? Let's open this up, let him in. You want to go get your breakfast? Okay, go on in all the way. There you go. All right, so that's for Ruffles. That's his downstairs apartment. Now he's only got a partition, and on the other half is storage. Above that is my access door to my chicken coop. So let's come over here. And I just got a little latch. And here's where the chickens stay. So this is a 4x8 area, and I've got some bamboo from a friend of mine that I'm using for perches. I've got an automatic chicken door. I had that on my hoop coop, and it's open now to the outside, and I'll show you outside in just a minute. The nice thing about this coop is I had some skylights that I was able to put in. That's just a corrugated plastic, and then down here is where they hang out. And the nest boxes are here. Try to zoom around so you can see those. But that's where the chickens come in at night. At least they're still learning to. So this is just for me to get at the birds if I need to. This is a snake-proof coop. As far as the chickens go, their area is top and bottom and sides completely protected by 1/2-inch hardware cloth. So I've had problems with snakes before, especially with baby chicks. They can get right into the chicken wire, no problem at all, and they can eat your chicks. And in fact, what happens is they'll eat your chicks and then they got them in their stomach and they can't get back out. That's usually how I find out that I've got a snake. And over here, is my nest area. It's not as pretty as some of the ones you've seen, but it's functional. So I've got 4 stations, and all I have to do is come inside my coop or into the shed area of my coop. All I have to do is come into the shed area of my coop, and I've got these 4 nest stations in here, nest boxes. So this nest box has really worked out well because it's already allowed me to store some extra leftover stuff that I had from the project, and now I can just come and go when the chickens start to lay and get the eggs. So now we come out the double door and past the side door, and I couldn't resist the urge to put a front porch on the whole thing. As I was building it, I just said, man, wouldn't it be cool to have a nice front porch on that? And so I went ahead and just got a little more lumber, and a lot of it's repurposed. And I was able to use some repurposed and some brand new, and I put a nice deck on it with a covered area. That way the rain doesn't splash up on the siding, and keeps ruffles areas nice and dry too. So let's go check out where the chicks are. As I said, now they're not chicks anymore, they're pullets. So I've got a nice run here. This run is 20 feet long. Come over here. So here's the run. It's 20 feet long. And I wasn't going to make a run at first, but I have a problem with a hawk nest. I've got a hawk nest. If you look, I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in or not. I have a hawk nest right up here. And so that's a little too close for comfort for me. So we've got a enclosure now. This is the first time I've ever had an enclosed run, and the pullets are running around in here, and we'll go right inside and say hi to them. So I've got my double doors, and I made double doors on this so that I could bring a load of mulch with my tractor, and I can just open up both doors and drop mulch right into the chicken run. And let's go in and say hi to them. So let's see, we've got some that are playing in the tire, and I've got wood ash from my wood stove, and that's for them to take a nice dust bath in. I come in, they all got freaked out and only one stayed. So let's come over here, and so there's the rest of them. So it's a nice area for them to mature in. I'm going to let them free range on a bigger run that has electric wire around it. But for now, until they get big enough so that the hawk is deterred, I'm just going to go ahead and keep them in here. And so these are my Brahmas. These are actually Brahmas, and these are gold-laced Brahmas. I had a white Brahma. In fact, I still have her. She's on loan, and she's helping to clear some weeds out of someone's garden. But here are my gold-laced Brahmas, and it's a straight run, so I don't know which ones are hens or roosters. We'll have to find out pretty soon, but they're getting to be pretty good sized. They got all their feathers now, so they're starting to get pretty. They were kind of in that ugly stage for a while. I've got another door here that leads out to the big run that has electric fence around it. So this is where my geese hang out. Cheese, the girl, is laying eggs in this doghouse. I don't know if she's going to set on them. She sets on them sometimes and then gets up and walks around. And they're over here. Right there. Where are you guys? There you are. I see you. That's her boyfriend, Bubbles. And there's their little swimming pool. I got to give them fresh water. So going back, looking at everything here from the outside. So again, this is just another shot of the run. And I'm on a slope, which is really tricky to work with. And I didn't want to invest a lot of time and energy into leveling. So what I did was I just laid out the 4x4 posts, and I just laid them on the ground, sloping downward, and then I leveled all my framing lumber straight up and down and side to side. And it worked out fine, but I had to deliberately build crooked doors. So they look pretty straight, but at the bottom is where you're going to see that they've taken on the slope. But I think it still looks okay. And let's get in here. So I got to show you this other feature. So here's where I got a lot of the inspiration from the Carolina Coop design. I wasn't sure about having my chickens off the ground. I usually put mulch down, a big thick layer of mulch, and that lasts all year, and you hardly have to do anything with the mulch. It breaks down very slowly, and it keeps the odor virtually non-existent. So if it does start to smell, all you gotta do is just rake it a little bit. You don't even have to add to the mulch. So I really like the mulch system quite a bit. Now I am using the deep litter system in here, and the deep litter goes from here to almost the handle here. But I'll just show you. This is pretty much what you see in the Carolina Coop design. So as you can see, it's not that deep yet. This is the first of the litter that's been installed. It's only about 3 or 4 inches thick. So I'll just keep adding to it until it gets to about this level, which hopefully will be about a year, and then we'll change it out. And it can just be raked out right here. I just use sticks to keep the doors open for ventilation. I know they use a fancier version of this, but I really like how it looks stained. And then I trimmed it out with some cedar that I got at a closeout place, pretty good price. So the ladder goes on hooks right back. Right now I gotta open that door again. Let me see, hopefully I can climb up there and not have a tragedy. Strong enough for me to climb on, it's okay. And there we go. I didn't intentionally build it strong enough for me to climb on, but thank goodness I can. Just so I can go up there and open up their door. Well, there you have it. It's a 3-in-1 chicken coop, doghouse, and shed for my tools and lawnmower. So I was pretty excited about it because I got to use a lot of repurposed materials. So my roofing was all repurposed materials from a trailer port that I had gotten for my camper. I couldn't really use it for my camper, and I had it sitting around, and I had all this dimensional lumber that I wanted to put to good use, so I figured this would be the next best thing I could do with it. So be careful. If you decide to binge watch something, you might get addicted to it. And I've already had chickens for a long time. I've had bees longer, but I've had chickens for quite a number of years as well. I thoroughly enjoy having them. I do gardening and all that crazy stuff too. A lot of beekeepers aren't just beekeepers. They're also gardeners, farmers, homesteaders. And I just thought I'd indulge a little bit and share with you this big accomplishment because it was pretty exciting to finally be done with this. It took me about 3 weeks. And I used a lot of repurposed materials, which really was exciting for me. I don't know what's happened to me, but if you've ever watched that movie Sanford and Son and how he's a junk collector, I'm not that bad, but man, I'll tell you what, I get more thrill out of using something that's been laying around for a long time instead of throwing it away. I get a lot of thrill out of that, and that's a lot of what you see here is a lot of stuff that got put to good use instead of being burned up or thrown into a landfill. That just makes me feel good about the environment and what I'm doing here on our farm. Now there's a swarm that's hanging in my backyard on my kiwi vine trellis. And if you want to see that video, now might be the perfect time to hit that subscribe button, because you'll get notified when I post that video. See you next time.